What is up, guys? TopTierYugioh here, and because 65% of you guys like pack openings, here we are with a box and some change of Dimension Force. And now Dimension Force was a set that was important for me to pick up sooner rather than later because of the release of a few key cards that will be relevant for both regionals next weekend and YCS Hartford in 2 weeks, and I did not want to wait for this. And let's just start off by mentioning some of these key cards, and so I'm going to talk about what I think the top 10 cards in the set are, and then we'll get into the pack opening itself. And so feel free to skip around if you want. If you just want to see the pack openings, just skip ahead. If you want to see the whole thing, stick around. But while you're down there, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. So let's go ahead and get into what I think some of the best cards in the set are. And the first number one card in the set, in my opinion, is Illegal Knight. And I kind of already, cheated and picked this up, but I think this is a super relevant card that's going to be in a lot of decks starting next weekend when the set is legal. It's just such a splashable card, and it's the main thing I was really looking for in the set, and it gives the adventure engine so much more utility because while Griffin is excellent defense, Illegal Knight is also a good defensive card that also gives the adventure engine another way of breaking boards when going second on top of Draco Bag, and so it really just adds to the engine, making it that much more useful. The second card that I'm looking to pick up is Branded Exile, where I think it's now Branded Banishment or something like that in the TCG, but it's pretty much a branded Super Poly trap card, and I think it's just going to be key in mirror matches, but also it's just more utility in general for the deck because like Branded in Red, you don't have to fuse with it. You can also just special summon back a Mirror Jade from the graveyard and use the effect. Or you can revive an Adlib and then fuse it away with red, or revive an Aliber and then search. It's just a lot of really neat things that you can do with that card, and so I think it's just a good engine card for Branded in general, and so that's going to be something I'm looking to pick up. Number 3, I have Beyond the Pendulum, which is just insane value in toolbox for Pendulum decks. I don't even play Pendulum decks, but it's just such a good card. Let's see, then we have Therion King Regulus, just more utility for machine decks like Strikers, Earth Machines, and maybe even ABC. You guys know I love ABC. I think Regulus is definitely a card that we're going to see during this upcoming format, and while it won't be in any of the top decks, it's going to be an important card for some of the roguish decks, for sure. At number 5, we have Dinomorphia Rexstrom, and I guess you could say Frenzy as well, but Dinomorphia are just getting great support in this set. I think this is what really makes Dinomorphia into a playable deck, whereas after the last set, they were kind of just fringe, but now you can actually play a Dinomorphia deck. And so Rexstrom I think is very key because it's kind of a giant skill drain that protects itself from battle and floats. And then of course Frenzy is nuts too as a fusion trap. So I think Dinomorphia is going to be really good this set, and if you aren't familiar with the Dinomorphia cards, now is the time to read up on them before they're legal. You got about a week, so read up on those Dinomorphia cards, because if you play against them and you don't know what they do, they can definitely catch you by surprise. At number 6, we have Abyssal Dragon Albaretnus, which is the branded fusion, the Albaz fusion dragon monster from the set. And I think it's just important that it improves the synergy between some of the branded engines and then the other fusion decks like Shadal's. And it also keeps dragons out of the format because it can be fused with one or more dragons. And so if you end on your board of, I don't know, Seal, Hot Red, Savage, any other dragons, it doesn't matter. You can just summon a Fallen of Albaz and then fuse all of them away into an Albaretnus. And so that kind of keeps dragons out of the format to an extent. I mean, they're still going to be playable, they're still going to be good, and this card isn't going to be in every Despia deck for sure. However, if dragons ever did see a resurgence, or if you see a lot of dragons in your local metagame, this is a card that you might run into, as well as being a card that you're going to run into if you play against Shadal's or any other fusion deck that plays something that's searchable by Albaretnus. And so those first 6 cards, Illegal Knight, Branded Banishment, Beyond the Pendulum, Therion King Regulus, Dinomorphia Rexstrom, and then Albaretnus, I think all of those cards are going to be meta relevant to an extent. The next few cards won't be relevant yet, but they are good cards to keep your eye on. I think these are like needles in the haystack that people aren't going to talk about. These are the cards that, get left on the table after opening your packs. These are the ones that get tossed in the trash can. But these cards are actually not bad, starting with Dogmatic Liturgy. And this is, you guys know I love the Dogmatic Ritual deck, and this is what allows you to ritual summon from the deck. And so you can summon a ritual monster from your deck by attributing a Dogmatica card, Dogmatica monster of course, or fusion or synchro monsters so that the levels equal exactly that ritual monster. So this gives you just another way of summoning your White Knight or your White Relic. And I think it's a really good card. It also has a graveyard effect that adds Dogmatica monsters back to your hand, and so you're getting some utility, some recursion, and access to the main parts of your engine. And so Dogmatic Liturgy is definitely good, and it's hard to play that deck with Despia in the format, but when Despia is gone, or at least weakened, I think it's going to be a good card. At number 8, we have Yakuza, Lord of the Eight Thunders, and this is definitely like a trash can card for sure, but it's a worm monster that special summons itself and has another effect to draw a card. And worms have really good support. Like, we've seen what we can do with just random worm monsters in Sword Soul or in other decks, and I think this is a card that could be used to climb into other plays while also gaining some advantage in hand as well. And so I think this is a card that might someday see some kind of play as maybe like a one-of in a deck, similar to how we did with Mare. Like, Mare could, you know, well, Mare is a lot better because it got you so much more advantage, but this draws a card and summons itself, so it's not quite a brick either. So I think it's an interesting card, definitely something that could see play one day. At number 9, we have Curse of Dragon, the Magical Night Dragon. This is just another super poly target, and so the fusion materials for this are a warrior monster and then a level 5 or higher dragon monster. And so I think that's pretty useful just in general as, you know, access to more super poly targets. And so you could hit like a Baron plus a Savage Dragon. And sure, in a lot of the same scenarios, we do still have Draco Knight, Draco Equest, which also is a warrior plus a dragon synchro monster, and most dragon synchro monsters are higher than level 5. However, this is just another option. Maybe one day, like, I mean, Konami prints a lot of really good dragon monsters. Maybe there's a good dragon monster that just stays on board that we need to get rid of with a Baron or something. It's just something that you should recognize exists. Also, it is level 5, and so the level could be relevant depending on the deck that's playing the Super Poly. So another thing to keep in mind. And then finally at number 10, we have Chao Sai, the Ghost Stopper. And now, a lot of people aren't paying attention to this card, but it is a floodgate on graveyard spell and trap effects. And while that's not relevant right now in the format, all it takes is for Konami to print one new archetype that relies on graveyard spell and trap effects, which I would not be shocked to see one day, whether it be a year from now, 2 years, 5 years from now. It's definitely something that probably will exist someday, and when that day comes, Chao Sai will be a good card. It also has a decent effect when sent to the graveyard too. On top of that, it's got good stats, good type, attribute, level, and again, both of the effects are pretty good. And so I would not be shocked to see this card be good someday, and while it'll just be like a 50-cent card in the future, you could just save it when you open it in your packs. But these are the cards that I'm kind of looking for in this set. Let me know what you guys think about this set. What are your favorite cards? What are you looking to open up, and what are you trying to get rid of? Let me know down in the comment section below, but let's go ahead and actually get into these packs. And as you can see, I'm on like a Norden mat today because Norden's eating some ramen, and after opening these packs, we're gonna be eating good as well. Like, we're gonna be eating good tonight. Also, it's sneak peek weekend. I also picked up these field centers, and these are pretty cool. I kind of like them. I don't usually use a field center, but if I did, you know, these are nice. So that's something that also came out with the set. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We got the box here. We've got some Lucy's. Let's get started with the actual box. The show goes on. So in every booster box, there are 24 packs. And we got a lot. We got 24 packs plus these 6 extra, so 30 packs total. Hopefully we pull something good. A lot of good. Let's get started. So pack number 1. This feels like a super rare pack for sure. Let's see. Mad Mauler, Reverse Jar, Scareclaw Alternative. There are a lot of Scareclaws in this set. I haven't really looked into them too much yet, but maybe they're pretty good. Definitely gonna look into them at some point. Also, a lot of Ancient Warrior support as well. I hear that, you know, these are they get pretty good in this set, so might be something to look into as well. But that's pack number 1. Heroic Champion Claire Solish. Let's keep it moving. This pack feels a little heavier, like maybe there's an Ultra in here. Let's see. Therion Bullane. Ichiroku's Ledger Book. What does this do actually? Target 2 monsters your opponent controls, banish them until the end phase, and the opponent... That's a pretty good trap actually. Like, it gets rid of 2 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and sure, they gain some life points, but it's pretty good. Another Heroic Challenger, Warrock Medium. Whoa, pack number 2, a secret. Psychic End Punisher. Let's just pull. Ooh, almost dropped it. Let's pull it in closer. But what does this card even do? I haven't actually read it yet, but it is a light level, looks like level 10 Synchro Monster, Psychic, 3500 attack and defense. You guys can see it, but while your life points are less than or equal to than your opponent's, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Pay 1,000 life points once per turn, target one monster you control and one card your opponent controls, banish them at the start of the battle phase. This card gains attack equal to the difference from your life points and your opponent's. This card's pretty insane. Like, it can have a lot of attack depending on the game state, but also just being a towers-like monster, being unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, that can be huge. And then the other effect, the removal effect's kind of iffy because you have to have another card on board to use. Like, it's unaffected by the opponent's effects, but it's still activated by its own effect. And so you can't target itself unless you know, want to get rid of it. But still, pretty insane card for sure. Got more Ancient Warriors. These two are together in the last pack too. And Pendulum Scale. Here, this is also pretty solid too. Let's see. If you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, apply the following effect based on the difference in the scales. It kind of reminds me of Wavering Eyes, where you get effects based on your scales. Destroy 2 spell and traps on the field. Add monsters from deck to hand. This card's insane. Yeah, this card's actually really good. And this card is actually really cute. What does this do? If this card is... Oh, treat it as a level 8 monster when used for a Synchro Summon. Synchro Monster using this... Okay. Useless effect, but it's a level 1 Sea Serpent, 0 attack, 800 defense, water. The typing and level and stats can be relevant, but I'm hyped that we pulled that secret. This pack also feels kind of hefty. Maybe this is like an ultra or something. Let's see. Therion Yugioh, Scareclaw, Vivid Tail, Therion Cross, more Ancient Warriors. This Predaplant card's really good actually. It just has a lot of effects. Yeah, it's level 5, so it's an instant fusion target. When fusion summon, it searches, and then it also floats, I believe, as well. Let's see, target one monster your opponent controls with a counter, and then one monster you control, tribute them, and then special summon from deck, yeah, so solid effect. Ooh, and then we got the Dogmaticaturgy. We just talked about that being pretty good one day. It's a decent pack. Battle Guard Cadet, Parasomnia Pillow. This looks kind of cute. What is this? Equip spell. During the end phase, you can destroy the equipped monster. If this card is sent to the grave because the equipped monster was destroyed and sent to the grave, special summon one Parasomnia token with the equipped monster's original type, attribute, and attack. Equip this card to that token. Okay, this is interesting because you can equip it to your opponent's monster, then during the end phase it destroys it, and while that's kind of slow, being an equip spell makes it searchable by various means. So you could search it, equip it to your opponent's monster, end phase destroy it, and you just outed that card. Yeah, interesting, and it gives you a token as well. Then, let's see. When it equips itself to the token, that's just too slow, but you'll get another token if it equips itself to the token, then destroys the token, and then it'll give you another token. It'll keep coming back, but it's very slow being in the end phase, but not a horrible card. Oh, Changshi the Spiridao. This is another card I was looking at too, because while it's level 6, that stinks. It is a foolish burial for zombies. The effect is that once during your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and then if this card is banished, you can banish one zombie from your graveyard, special summon this card, but then place on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. But I think that's really good though, because you can like send this to the graveyard somehow, revive it back, send something else from your deck to the graveyard, and you just got like still a sin, but also a free level 6 monster. I think this card's actually really good in some zombie decks. Let's see, Supreme Sea Mare. Is this related to Mare in any way? I don't think so. Yeah, okay. Omega Judgment. Target one face-up monster card in your spell and trap card zone, and 2 cards in your opponent controls, destroy them. I guess this is good for Crystal Beast. Okay. I just realized this is a lot of packs. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's go a little faster though. Performer Pal Gertrude. Branded Lost. This card's not very good, but the artwork is just incredible. Like, look at this. It's just such good artwork on this card. A lot of the cards in this set just look really cool. Like this card. The sarcophagus looks pretty spooky. Like, good artwork, good artwork. I really wanted this card to be like related to X Sabers. Like, I would love X Saber support, but it's just kind of a trap with XX in the name. And XX Saber Gotham's in the artwork, but like not actually X Saber support. Big sad. Let's see. Another Therion Yugioh, Scareclaw, Vivid Tail, Therion Charge, Therion Reaper Fume, Symphonic Warrior Rocks. Okay, that looks epic. Colonel and G-String, and then this. What is this? Detach one Xyz material from a monster you control. Okay, no. That's all we need to see. That's all we need to see here. See, we've seen all of these before. Ooh, Curse of Dragon, the Magical Knight Dragon. Again, that super poly target that I was talking about earlier. Pretty solid card for sure. Predaplant, Mad Mauler, another Parasomnia Pillow, Crow Tengu. Oh, Dinomorphia Frenzy. Yes, this card's insane. The rest of the pack's pretty useless, but so for Frenzy, it's during your opponent's main phase, pay half your life points, fusion summon one Dinomorphia monster from your extra deck, using only one monster from your deck, and then one monster from your extra deck as fusion material, and then when your opponent activates a card or effect while your life points are 2,000 or less, banish from the grave, you take no effect damage. So that's the effect that's on like all the traps, but the main part is just the fusion summon effect, so huge card for Dinomorpheus. It would be crazy if we pull Rexstrom too. Predaplant, another Mauler, another Pillow, Crow Tengu, Sylvan Dancefione, Scareclaw Astra, and these cards. What does the Sylvan do? I've seen some people looking for this. Let's see, so it's a Link 2 Wind, requires 2 plant monsters. When it's Link summon, choose a number 1 to 3 and excavate that many cards from the top of your deck. If you do special summon up to 2 excavated plant monsters, but they can't be used as link material, send the remaining to the grave. That's insane. Like, special summon up to 2, that's some incredible high roll potential. And then let's see, you can target 1 plant monster in the grave that has a level. The levels of monsters this card points to become that monster's levels until the end of the turn. So great for Xyz monster support or synchro support. So you could turn 2 monsters into level 3s and synchro 6, or level 4s for 8, 2s for 4. Some interesting things you can do with this card. So interesting indeed. Oops. Ambiguous Bugroth, MK11. This is a throwback to an old card. It's probably terrible though. Reverse Jar, discard Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. Okay, so this is a level 8 zombie synchro, 2800 attack and defense, requiring a zombie tuner and a non-tuner monster. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 monster and your opponent controls are in their graveyard, banish it. If a monster is special summoned from the other graveyard while this monster is on the field, you can target 1 other monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Seems like an interesting effect if you can take advantage of it. The second part being a trigger allows it to be used on both players' turns, and the first effect can be useful for just breaking boards. So solid card for sure. And then we've got some other cards we've already pulled. Are these the same 2 first cards? Same like first 4 cards from that last pack. Performer Pal Lady Eng. Oh, this looks like Angel of Zera, actually. Oh, Mazera. Algul Mazera. What does this do? So it's a level 8 Earth monster. And, 2800 attack. These might be the stats for Angel of Zera. 2800 attack, 2300 defense. If a zombie monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this from your hand or grave instead. If it's banished from the hand or grave, special summon this card in defense. Reduce its level by 1. Interesting, interesting. Because it doesn't have to be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. You can trigger this yourself. So if you have a zombie monster on your side of the field and you have some other effect to destroy it, you can just banish this from hand or field or graveyard to just summon it. So it could in some ways be an extender, similar to how it kind of reminds me of Ram and Zodiacs. So interesting card. And then this Performer Pal Lady. The pendulum effect involves battles, so it's probably not good. The second monster effect, discard this card in one Performer Pal and draw 2 cards. Oh, that's that's pretty good. Discards in the graveyard and you control an Odd Eyes or Performer Pal Gertrude. Place this in your Pendulum Zone. Pretty good. Monster effect's really good. The Pendulum Zone effect's not incredible, but the draw 2 effect is. So, okay. Interesting card, Performer Pal Lady. Another Bullane, Ledger Book, Heroic Challenger, War Rock. Ooh, Chao Sai. Like I was telling you guys, this being a floodgate for spell and trap cards in the graveyard is pretty good. Like, I don't know when, but like in general, this is just a solid effect. Like solid stats, 1900 attack, level 4 dark spellcaster. This is just a good card in general. I really wish it was if this card was sent to the graveyard, not from the field to the graveyard, but nonetheless, I still like it. Sunlit Sentinel, Haunted Zombies. We've seen a good number of zombie support in this set. Let me move some of the trash out the way a little bit. Keep moving. Alright, let's see. Crow Tengu, Ice Jade, Heroic Challenger, Yarn Graper, Libromancer, Fireburst. This, I think I remember hearing about this card being pretty good. I'm gonna have to read up on the Libromancer cards, but let me know if this is good. Branded Lost once again, Pendulum Scale, pretty good. Alright, butchered that pack. Predaplant, another Mauler, General Probe, another Predaplant, Navy Dragon Mech. So this is like a counterpart to Vermilion Dragon Mech. So Vermilion Dragon Mech is fire level 9. This is looks like also level 9 but water. Also requiring only 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner, machine synchro with 27 attack and 18 defense. I think those are the same stats as Vermilion. The effect is that when it's special summoned, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of tuners in your graveyard. Oh, that's pretty good. Negate their effects until the end of the turn. And then if this synchro summon card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the grave, you can target 1 tuner in your graveyard and add it to your hand. It doesn't have the destruction effect that Vermilion does, but being able to negate multiple cards potentially is pretty strong. Yeah, and it's face-up cards too, not just monsters. So you can negate like an Imperial Order. Oh, that's banned. You can negate some other floodgate, or maybe a continuous spell. Hey, this card can be good. Not a bad card at all. What else we got here? Sentinel, Rocks, Scareclaw. That card. Let's keep it moving. I'm really curious what the second secret's gonna be. Let's see. Predaplant, Mauler, General. Oh, nice. Oh, I thought it was Alba Lentinus, the Abyss Dragon. Once again, this card is absolutely insane because, for one, it's Fallen of Albaz plus 1+ dragon monster, so you can get multiple dragons off the board, making it incredible against any dragon deck, but also attacking multiple times. Well, let's go through the effect. So It's a level 8 Dark Dragon monster, Dark Dragon Fusion, 2500 attack and defense, requiring 1 Fallen of Albaz and 1+ Dragon monsters. It cannot be used as fusion material and must be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above cards from any monster zones to the graveyard. Any monster zones. The cool thing is, if you summon Fallen of Albaz, you don't even have to use the effect. You can summon Albaz and then just send this or Albaz and the other dragons to the grave, so you don't have to discard. So that's pretty neat. This card can attack monsters by sending, This card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials used for it. So it'll be able to attack monsters at least twice. Once per turn during the end phase if this card is in the grave because it was sent there this turn. Add 1 Polymerization normal spell or 1 Fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. Another thing that this card could be used for is just adding poly, and since standard branded plays Polymerization, maybe I shouldn't say standard, but the popular version of branded SP right now is on like the Fright for package with Polymerization. Maybe this is played just as another in-phase way to search poly. And while you do have the edge imps and the Fright for cards, Fright for patchwork to get it, this might just be another way to get an extender. Maybe. We'll see. But super hyped to have pulled this. This is insane. Absolutely insane. And ooh, this is cute. Cute card. What does this do? That's a lot of text. I'll read it later. If you guys like Predaplants, let me know, but I am not super familiar with them. Minus like the main ones. Let's see. Got another Crow Tengu, Ice Jade Curse, Knuckle Sword, another Heroic Champion. Petitiel Corvuture? I've got no idea. Somebody tell me how to pronounce this card. But what it does is, if you have no cards in your other pendulum effect, is if you have no cards in your other pendulum zone, you can place 1 face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck in your pendulum zone once per turn. Of course, it's a pendulum scale 1, and then the monster effect is, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, place it in your pendulum zone. So just trying to think how this card is useful. It can be summoned off of instant fusion because it's a level 5 fusion. And then, I guess if it gets destroyed somehow, it goes to your zone and fills your other zone. It's not a bad card. Useful effect. I don't quite see the utility right now, but I'm sure for somebody who's more versed in pendulum decks, I'm sure they can see the power. Alright, let's see what we got. Battle Guard Cadet, another Pillow, Therion Yugioh, War Rock, the Weather Forecast, Weather archetype got some support too in this set, which I've always wanted to play. Like, their mechanic is pretty neat. I do wish they had better cards. The artwork is amazing. I just cannot justify picking them up yet, but I do want to one day play them for fun. I think the Weather Painters are pretty neat. Got another Bullane, backup team. Is this Ultra Athlete support? No, it's not Ultra Athlete support, but it does say draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls, which is an insane line. Then place cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew. Okay, so it's kind of like a reload. And then during the end phase, if your opponent has more cards than you do while it's in the graveyard, set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. It's like a trap card reload, I guess. It can fix your hands. It's a decent card. It's just a matter of, do you want to play this in your deck when it could just be a relevant card itself? So this card probably sees no play, but that first line of draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls is nuts. And I guess it can see play maybe when it's a question of card quality versus card quantity. When you're okay losing the backup team itself, like losing card advantage to draw a better card, but tricky. Yeah, Yakuza Lord of the Eight Thunders. This is another card I was mentioning early on in the video. It's a level 8 light worm monster. Special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 level or rank 8 monster in your graveyard. You can target 1 level 1 or rank 8 ritual, fusion, or synchro or Xyz in your graveyard, shuffle it into your deck, and then apply the following effect. If it's a ritual or fusion, you draw 1 card. And if it's a synchro or Xyz, this card gains 1000 attack. So if you're playing a fusion or ritual deck, special summons itself, draws a card, it's maybe one day I think it'll see play. Definitely not like, you know, garbage. Alright, we've only got a couple of packs left in this box. Looks like maybe like 8 or so. Their Bulane, backup team, Symphonic, this, Scareclaw. Nothing special here. We've seen all of these cards before. Predator Plant, Ice Jade. Yep, nothing new. Motor Frenzy. Let's see, what is Motor Frenzy? Haven't even seen this card yet. So it is a level 6 Dark Machine. I like the type and attribute. This card is normal or special summoned, or another machine monster is normal or special summoned. Activate this effect until the end of your opponent's turn. That normal or special summoned monster gains attack. Okay, never mind. If this tribute summon card is sent to the graveyard. Okay, this card's not good. Don't even need to read all of it. We already see we got an Ultra. Scareclaw, Cadet. Let's see. Deer Note. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not. I should be more familiar with the punk cards, but I'm not. And so I don't. I mean, let's just read it, I guess. It is a level 5 Earth Warrior. Reveal one other punk monster in your hand. Special summon either the revealed monster or this card and send the other to the grave. That can be useful. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target one punk monster in your graveyard, except a level 5 monster, and summon it. You cannot summon Deer Note for the rest of the turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is a pretty interesting card because it can summon itself, and also when it leaves the field, you summon something else. So it's effectively 2 cards on its own. And while it does cost 2 cards, if you have to send the other thing from hand to grave, or send itself from hand to grave, depending on what that other card is, you can get a lot of value from this. Let's see, is this just when sent from the field to the grave? Yeah, it doesn't have to be destroyed. It doesn't have to be, you know, tributed or sent to the grave for a synchro summon or something like that. Yeah, this is a pretty good card. Solid. Like, even just on its own. So that's pretty neat. Let's see. Nothing special here. Libromancer Trap. Colonel and G-String. Oof. We've only got 2 more cards in the box. 2 more packs in the box. So we already got 2 secrets, but yeah, hey. Maybe we get some Ultras. Scareclaw, Cadet, Letterbox, Pillow, Zombie Reborn. Again, a lot of zombie support in this set. Dice Games. Yeah. Final pack in the box, and I still have 6 more packs, but this is the last one in the box. What is gonna be in these packs? What could it be? Sarcophagus, Tail, Cadet, Hydra, Heroic Envoy. Add 1 heroic monster from deck to hand. That's pretty good. If your life points are 500 or less, banish it from the graveyard. Target a heroic in your graveyard. Add it to hand. This is a good card for heroics, but nothing else. So that's it for the box. 2 secrets, some number of ultras, and yeah, we still have these 6 other packs though. These are like entry for the sneak peek. Let's see what we get over here. Another Crow, VLAN, Knuckle Sword, this, another Zombie Synchro. Let's see, Ice Jade Curse. Let's see, another Envoy. Nothing special here. Hopefully one of these extra packs is something. Pillow, Mauler, Jar, another Chow Sai. Not mad at that. Dogmatic Liturgy. Let's see what we got. Oh, nice, another secret. Nice, Therion Lily Borea. Nice, nice, nice. What does this card do? This is a level 8 wind monster, plant type. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can target one Therion monster or one plant monster in your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, equip that monster to this card. You can also, the other effect is you can send one card from your hand or field to the grave, add one Therion spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and then a Therion monster equipped with this card gains 700 attack and can activate the second effect listed as above as if it were Therion Lilyboria. The second effect is the one to send a card from your hand or field to the grave and add a Therion spell or trap to hand. So, solid card. Nice. I did not really expect to pull a secret in like some random packs, but hey, we got there. We got 3 secrets. Alright. Another Crow Tengu, Ice Jade, Odd Eyes Wing Dragon. Okay. Always got to pay attention to a new Odd Eyes Synchro. So, this is a level 8 Synchro monster. Dark Attribute, Dragon, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. It's a Pendulum Synchro monster. And the pendulum effect is that once per turn during damage calc, if your monster battles an opponent's, you can make your monster gain attack equal to your opponent's monster during the damage step, or until the end of the damage step. And it doesn't have to be any particular monster; it can be anything battling anything else, pretty much. And then for the monster effect, it requires one Dark Tuner and one non-tuner Clearwing monster. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. You can only use one of the following effects once per turn, and only once per turn. The first being, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. The second is during the battle phase, if you control this Synchro Summon card, quick effect, destroy all level 5 or higher monsters your opponent controls. That was a lot of text for a whole lot of nothing. This card's not very good. It's a level, first of all, its synchro requirements are kind of tricky, being a Clearwing monster plus a Dark Tuner. Outside of a dedicated deck, this isn't going to see any play, but then even within a dedicated deck, the effects just aren't that good. I mean, you can only use one of them in one. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effect. Like, sure, just, like that's a lot of work summoning this card to negate one monster. And the second effect only destroys level 5 or higher monsters, and only during the battle phase, and only if you control this special summon card, so not that good. Final pack. Ooh, final pack. What could this be? Vivid Tail, Crow Tengu, Ice Jade Curse, Knuckle Sword, another Yakuza. This card, Sunlit Sentinel, Haunted Zombies, and Light Law Medium. Alright, so all in all, between one box of Dimension Force and 6 extra packs, I pulled a Albalentinus, Psychic and Punisher, Therion Lilyboria, Therion Charge and Cross, Dinomorphia Frenzy, No Punk, Deer Note, Skeletal Dragon Felgrand, Libromancer Fireburst, Libromancer Prevented, Navy Dragon Mech, 2 copies of Yakuza, Lord of the Eight Thunders, 2 copies of Chao Sai the Ghost Stopper, 1 Changshi the Spiridao, Performer Pal Gertrude and Lady Ange, 2 Heroic Envoys and Heroic Champion, 1 Sylvan Dance Peon, 1 Curse of Dragon the Magical Night Dragon, Motor Frenzy, Pastry Girl, Weather Forecast, Zombie Cards, Scareclaw Slash, Immortal Dragon. This card's actually really good. I didn't mention it when we were opening them, but this also sends a zombie from deck to grave, and in a zombie deck, that can be good. And then Odd Eyes Wing Dragon. And then on top of that, picked up an Illegal Knight, just extra. So very happy with this box opening. I think this set's actually pretty decent. I'd say probably better than Battle of Chaos. Battle of Chaos did not have that many relevant cards outside of Illusion of Chaos and I can't even think of any other relevant cards in that set. Definitely did not like opening packs for that set, and I already like this one a little bit more. But alright guys, thank you so much for watching this Dimension Force pack opening. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're as excited about Dimension Force as I am, let me know down in the comment section what cards you're excited about, what you're looking for. I'd love to hear it. If you guys want to see what decks we'll be playing post Dimension Force, links to those will be right here on your screen once they're posted. Be sure to check those out. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.